We're gonna do a song that you never heard before. The volume.
Here they come and get wicked. Here we go again.
Ace Kennedy, my brother from another mother, what's happening?
What's going on, man?
Hey, man, I just realized I looked in the mirror today and I am already darker from playing out in the sun here early. Like usually I wouldn't get that big of a jump on playing outside until probably like summertime. But I wound up just came in from playing out. I was like, whoo, that forehead looking dark out here, man.
Charlie dark too, bro.
Yeah?
Yeah, she's super dark. I was just telling her that probably about a day ago.
Hey, man, we got a lot of stuff to get into. Let's get that music going there, Maestro.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time.
Yep. It doesn't matter what your name
The
is.
Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time.
Yep. If you smell what the rock is cooking.
Ace Kennedy, we tell
up?
these people, if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe to the Slash Brothers Facebook and YouTube page. Every episode is uploaded to anywhere you stream podcasts. You want to listen to the boys on the go? Follow us. Do that there. Ace Kennedy, what's good your way, man?
I was kind of hyped up, bro. Seen one of my favorite podcasts. I had submitted some stuff and they ended up shouting us out on there.
Yo, I saw that, bro. I meant to tell you that too. That was dope.
Yeah. So I watch the Schmodown all the time. I mean, you know, they do the movie trivia Schmodown. They have a morning show called SEN Live, and it's called the Schmodown Entertainment Network. So I pretty much get a lot of my news from them as far as like movie related, that type of stuff. Those are the people I watch every day. So they have a podcast that they do every day at around 10 o'clock their time, and they're out in California or whatever. But no, so you got a chance to like submit some stuff, and so two of them was like, "Yeah, man, we looking for some new music," and da 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 da. So I was like, "You listening? You looking for some new music?
I'll let your boys
yeah.
know."
So I hit it up, and so then the dude that read it, he actually is a musician, Alex Marzonia. He's a musician, so it was dope that they was able to say that out there. And then Kate came on later on. The girl, she when I submitted, she wasn't there. So I resubmitted again. So I got a chance to get that double plug. So yeah.
No, that's fire, man. No, that's fire. And the funny thing is though, man, I gotta double check to see if the song is on TikTok, bro. I'm like, This is the crazy thing. I think that probably over the last 2 weeks, bro, all the way in, completely addicted to TikTok though, bro.
Yeah, I seen, it should be on TikTok, bro. I submitted it out there to TikTok, so it should be out there. I need to, like you said, get a hold of it and do something to it so I can get some people on it.
I know that I have snippets of every song from the Bel Air 2 is on there. But I think that it's weird, the timing of it, because it isn't user uploaded, it's submitted by a TuneCore basically. And so it's not like they went through and said, "Oh, let me put the hook on there," or "Let me do the chorus." So that's the one thing that's why. The one that is out there that's good timing is Thick Thighs, Thin Patience. So I'm trying to do something with that on there though, man. But completely addicted to TikTok though, man. I found myself now understanding more Like sometimes I might walk in and Landon's room and do the parent stare, open the door, don't say nothing, just stare in there. And he'll just be on there looking at TikTok and could be on there for minutes turn to hours, and it's completely addictive though, bro.
It's funny because Sarah is super addicted to it, bro.
Yeah.
She is definitely one of the ones that be on TikTok, but that's how she go to sleep. She just sit there and just go to TikTok. And I ain't gonna lie, she kind of got me. That's how I kind of got hooked to it, because Justin sends them to me all the time.
Yeah.
Justin be sending, and a lot of times, of course, the Marauders, they send a lot of stuff that's Star Wars related or whatever. But yeah, Sarah definitely put me on to the TikTok. She had me on there. So
the funny thing about it is that most of my stuff seems to be almost like pranks on Neek. So it's weird, man. And so it's always, the funny thing that I've found from TikTok is the comments, right? Mm-hmm. So then you almost have to look at it like, what if you went in through and you looked at a comment? Let's say you saw this girl, and let's say she was top heavy, right? Then naturally there's going to be some comment about the boobs, right? Somebody's going to say something. And so you look at it and you notice and you scroll through and everything like that. It's part of it. But it's different when it's your post and somebody is doing the same thing.
This boy then froze up.
I almost had to check somebody over a comment though, bro. And it was funny because I had to pull back, because then I was just like, okay, well, you know what? That's what I would see if it was somebody else's and it wasn't mine though, bro. So yeah, but I'm addicted. I'm officially addicted to TikTok though, bro.
Yeah, I got 2 TikToks out there, man. I got my nursery rhyme challenge on out there, and then me and the boy Tony got together, Nightcap. We got together and did something real quick. So I got 2 of them out there. I ain't all about it yet, but I'm just slowly throwing some stuff on out there. But yeah,
I'm addicted. I'm already listening. It's like the TikTok is almost like getting a tattoo, bro. Like now that I put it on out there, I'm already planning the next one, bro. already got something in mind for the next one though, bro.
Man, yo, did you check out that Mortal Kombat?
I did, bro. Let me now mind you are more, I don't know that I'm not gonna say you're more of the movie buff, but you dig into movies more than I do. I think we can both agree to that.
Video game. Well, I do follow what I follow, but I played the video game, so I was invested that way.
Okay, but in terms of movies, how we rate movies and how you and listen, let me stop right there, because as I mentioned this, and Miss Kennedy is all over the comments. Shout out to the homie Dennis. Miss Kennedy, yes, Samaya hit me on up immediately after she got the tattoo, and I said, Did you talk to Ahmad? She was like, no, I haven't talked to him yet, but I wanted to call you personally. So I don't know. I think that she called me actually before she called y'all, which I would love it if she actually did do that.
She did. She probably did, because I didn't find out till about 4:30, I want to say.
No, she must have called me before she pulled into the crib. And she was like, listen, I just want to tell y'all that y'all overhyped it. It doesn't hurt. And I'm already planning to get my other tattoos. I was like, okay. So now we had the conversation, and I was planning to get another tattoo before I actually we going out to Mexico for Neek's birthday. Mm-hmm. And so I was already planning to get a tattoo before then. Now she got me thinking like, all right, me and Samaya might have to do a tattoo date and go get the tattoos on out here though, man. So that might be a graduation gift. We go ahead and get tattoos on the same day on the boy though. So yeah. But listen, Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
We talk about it on the scale of 10.
Yeah.
I gave it a 6, bro.
I gave it a 6 too.
And I think our reasons for it is different.
Totally different.
Right?
I'm
totally different reasons for it. I gave it a 6, only because I wanted more gore, right? I wanted more I wanted more of them doing so okay. I thought that the beginning scene, fire. And I thought that it was dope how they kind of set the stage of Scorpion Sub-Zero. Now, mind you, we talking about it. So if you ain't seen it, that's just too bad. We gave y'all some time now. It's y'all bad if you haven't seen it. So I thought that it was good from there, but very much like Wonder Woman, who I also give a 6. Also like Godzilla versus Kong, that I also give a 6 out of 10. My family fell asleep on it. So if my family falls asleep on it, it's not good enough for me to go over a 6. So I thought that the best scene was my boy with the hat,
Kung Lao.
But I guess I just didn't like how Kung Lao died that easily after he had the coldest fatality.
Well, they had to have some type of emotional thing for Liu Kang and their cousins. So I could understand why they did that. They kind of, so I get that. But
I also think that I don't know. I never know much. I played the video game. I never understood the full story of Cole and being, if that's just something they did for this movie, or if that's true to the video game.
Cole was not in any video game. He was
okay. So listen, character. You could have told me that Liu Kang was a descendant of Scorpion blood, and I would have been more interested, because I've already in the Mortal Kombat that I've seen, Liu Kang was the dude, and even in the video game, he was the coldest. And so I think that, to me, it would have been, you made him where he was just regular, right? And I just never knew Liu Kang to just be a regular dude.
For one, it's Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat. What did I call it?
Bro, I don't know what you're saying, but you ain't saying Mortal Kombat. You ain't saying combat.
Comeback.
That's what you saying.
Come back here. Get over here.
Nah, bro.
So Mortal Kombat. I mean, like, listen, bro. I guess I just thought that really they were consistent with the previous movies on Sonya being, this kind of hothead and trying to, prove herself. So I get that. I guess the thing that they missed me with the Cole being the descendant of Scorpion. He just seemed a little like here's my thing. So Goro was the grand champion that they thought, all right, he got these hands and everything, the extra hands, and then you just saw Cole get whipped by a regular dude. So I understand that he got these new powers, but it still doesn't change the fact that you got these new powers. And these new powers were, the little fire. I get that. But your ability to fight, right? We just saw you get whooped by a regular dude at a gym. So now you got the skills to beat Goro.
It was very inconsistent. But maybe when Goro is on Earth, he doesn't have necessarily the same powers, because a lot of them come from Outworld. But the other thing that I will try to get him a pass on is that if you look at all of the bad guys, pretty much died. And so I think, and Shao Kahn, Shang Tsung said,
died in the garage.
Shang Tsung said basically in their death that gives them a new portal. So maybe they are going to have some extra dope powers in the next series, because they wrote this with the intent of having more movies. Like the dude who's playing Sub-Zero, he's already signed on for 4 movies. And the thing is that
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And the thing is that, for one, I did not like the casting of Shang Tsung. I did not like the casting of Raiden. Everybody else was okay. Kano stole the show. Kano was spot on. Kano.
So here's the thing. I at least like that. This is gonna sound. Listen, I don't want to get us canceled.
No, you good.
I at least like the fact that Raiden was Asian. They had Asian as a white dude on the last Mortal Kombat.
I get that, but they still, to me, he was too young of an actor. They needed somebody a little older. And why was Raiden so mean? Bro, you got the fate of the world in your hands, but you don't want to talk. You talking crazy to the people that's trying to help you out. Like it just was backwards. Shang Tsung was not menacing at all. That dude was from Dark Knight when Batman went to Japan or wherever and snatched that dude up out the building. You remember that in Dark Knight?
Yeah.
Okay, that was that dude. That dude is not scary at all. So it's just like they miscast Shang Tsung. Raiden was miscast. I wasn't cool with him. But like I said, Kano was spot on. He was like the dude who played him was killing it. I thought he was dope. I thought Sonya Blade was dope. I thought Jax was cool. I seen he was like the dude from Supergirl. He was Jimmy Olsen.
I'm gonna be honest. I hate him in all the movies, bro. He is very much to me, now that I realize it, right? He is just like the dude with the accent, the white dude from NCIS that I hate.
Yeah.
I think that this dude here, I hate him in everything that I've ever seen him in. And you know what I hate him in the most? What started me to hate him? I hated him in Desperate Housewives. He was a younger guy that was in Desperate Housewives, and I think they killed somebody, and just overnight they packed up and left. I hated him way back then, and that was like 15 years ago.
You ain't like him in the game either, did you?
No, I hated him in the game too, bro. I hate him in everything that he does, though, bro. Yeah. And maybe it's because he's very much like the country dude that I hate. He plays the exact same kind of guy. He just got this new job. He was a kid he was supposedly like a college kid in Desperate Housewives. Now he just got a job with the police force on this, and I hate him still, bro.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is what it is. I know most of the check went to him and the dude who played Scorpion. That's the dude he was actually in Avengers. He was in Endgame, and he was also, but his big role, the one that I know him from, he was in The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
He cold, bro. I like him.
I like him. He looks like, bro, that he looks like he can fight in real life with the sword. Like he practice sword fighting all day long.
Yeah, him and Sub-Zero can fight in real life. Them two can go for real. So I love the little, stuff that was built around them. Because of course, when you think of Scorpion and Sub-Zero, if we was talking G.I. Joe, you would think about Scorpion and Storm Shadow. What's up?
Yes, I hate him in Glory Road as well, bro. I hate him in everything, bro. He's just one of the people that I just hate. It doesn't matter. He is like
Tony Parker. That's your Tony Parker.
No, I think the guy from NCIS might be the Tony Parker. He's like Steve Blake. It doesn't matter what team he plays on. I hate him, bro. He's right up there. He's right up there. I'm gonna keep it 1,000. He's probably on that list with like Tracy Morgan, bro. Where if I see him in the movie, I'm like, no, I'm gonna hate it.
Yeah, that's what he definitely took me out of Coming to America. Tracy Morgan. That was
I hate him.
But back to Mortal Kombat, bro. For me, the third act came way too quick. It was like you said, when Cole got his powers, and then all of a sudden everybody can fight now. I was just like, okay. Then they have no tournament.
Yeah, no tournament. But not just that, though. You were able to get these new people who just got their power to beat the people who have been around. Right. For years.
That's why I'm saying that's why I'm saying plot wise. If you're telling me it was a necessary evil that they had to die in order for them to come back colder, okay. Because I don't know what the second movie is. A lot of people had issues with the fact that Johnny Cage wasn't in it. This was a reboot, though. I saw
that The Miz was saying he wanted to be Johnny Cage. I like that.
Yeah. They were. That's a fan cast that people, and some people are like already championing that. Yeah, he would be a dope Johnny Cage.
Listen, that boy said he liked that with Anthony Mackie. Listen, bro, I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you.
Nah.
I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you. Them. I know where Dennis is going with that. I can see why. I
like Anthony Mackie, bro.
Here's the reason why. I can totally see Anthony Mackie being a character where you either like him or you don't like him. Because listen, he's pretty much the same guy in every movie. Case in point, right? He is in Outside the Wire, which is a fire movie. But I see him. Yeah, it's Outside the Wire, I think it's called. But listen, even on that, I look at him and I still see him as the Falcon. Like the Bionic Falcon. He's in this movie.
Who is the Bionic Falcon?
He's like, he has the bionic, he's a bionic person.
Okay.
And I see him as a bionic Falcon on this one. Then on top of that, right, he's in this new movie that's called Synchronic or something like that.
I seen it. Yep.
I couldn't get into the first 15 minutes of it, and it seemed like the Winter Soldier was an EMT, and he couldn't figure out something. And I was like, so I understand why I'm just like, with him. I
like
can see
Anthony
why
Mackie,
somebody just
I like Anthony Mackie in Black Mirror. I like Anthony Mackie in all the movies you mentioned. I liked Anthony Mackie in 8 Mile. So you know,
if you like him, like I said, if you like him, I can totally see that his character and he has the same demeanor, the same charm. He is very much like.
So he didn't level up to you in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier series?
No, because I already have been seeing him as the Falcon now. So he did what I.
But I'm saying he hadn't really had like the fact that it was actually focused on him. Typically, he's sharing the scene with Chris Evans. So the thing is now that he had his own stuff, I thought it served him well. And based upon that, he's gonna get more roles just because of what he did in Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Well, and I don't disagree with that, right? But I think that when I see him, I'm still he's gonna be kind of this, So here's what I mean. Here's one of the things that I personally love about what's my guy that plays Chad Boseman, right? What I love about him is that Black Panther is different for him playing Jackie Robinson, which was different for him playing Thurgood Marshall, which was different for him playing James Brown, which was different from him also playing the guy who was the songwriter on Black Mom and what the show was that was nominated that recently. So all of his stuff is so different. And when I see him as the Black Panther, I only see him as the Black Panther. And when he's in another movie, I don't see him as the Black Panther. So when I saw him in The Bloods, the Spike Lee joint, and this was while he was skinny, so he looked different, but I didn't, fresh off of Black Panther, I didn't see him and think, oh, okay, Black Panther in the army now. But I see Anthony Mackie, like he's kind of the same in all the movies, bro. He's like, you know what it is? It's almost like seeing a movie with Jason Statham. I know he's going to be kicking tail in the movie, but he's going to be Handsome Rob in every movie to me. Ma Rainey is it. Chris Weston, shout out for checking in too. But Ma Rainey, he is in that movie. Even though he's played a musician before, I didn't get that he was playing like James Brown and Ma Rainey. Five Bloods is like, dang, Chris is on top of it there, bro. Golly, boy. Anywho, though, man. But speaking of Falcon and Winter Soldier, the finale was last Friday. I did get a chance to watch that. Good. I listen. I've loved everything about Falcon and Winter Soldier. I don't necessarily. I don't dislike hardly anything. I think that even the things that are debatable, I think that there's still room for you to interpret and room for it to grow. So, I mean, what did you think about that, though?
I thought it was dope. I had some plot issues, there was a lot of things I had issues with, but overall the actual finale was dope. Bro, I could not see this since you told me this, bro.
I tried to tell you, bro. I tried to tell you. When I saw him, I immediately said, dang, that boy suit look like A-Train, bro. Am I lying? I told you it's the shades, bro.
It's the same suit, bro.
It's the same suit as A-Train, bro, with the American print.
Look on the side of the arms where A-Train.
And listen, his belt has A on it, and it almost looked like Avenger sign, bro.
Yeah.
That boy's A-Train, man. That boy looks listen, dog. All he is A-Train with the mustache and beard, bro.
And they got the same goatee. What you talking about?
Well, they got the same goatee. Even then, but no. I think Anthony Mackie had the chin strap beard on there.
No, he don't. Look, bro, you can see it in this picture. He got the mustache goatee. Same thing A-Train got.
Yeah, but I think, but I thought, if I'm not mistaken, that might be for the picture. I thought that he had the whole beard on it. And
No, he
listen,
don't.
and listen. Dennis, that is a good point because I don't like the dude who plays A-Train either, though, bro.
Y'all
like
some
him.
haters, bro.
Listen, bro, I only like him in The Boys, but outside of The Boy, and his who he is fits The Boys.
Yeah.
But outside of that, he's gonna be A-Train in everything else to me.
All right, so check this out. This is what I didn't like about Falcon and Winter Soldier. So there was just a couple of things. First of all, shout out to them because they had to change a couple of things and COVID happened. Meaning that so the original plot that you remember the character that kept saying Mama Danya, the woman that died who Carly Morgenthau was out to see. Well, originally she was supposed to have been sick because of a pandemic. So they was like, man, that's too close to what's really popping. So they had to change it up. So they said she had tuberculosis. So there's a lot of times, if you go back and watch the episodes, there's a lot of times where they'll pan to something else completely while people are talking. When the people are talking, those are the overdubs that they did to change the story up. So to me, the Flag Smashers, which is Carly Morgenthau's little crew, they weren't the real antagonists. I thought it was just kind of like when she died, there was no emotional connection to her because the closest we got to having some type of interaction with her is when Falcon went to go talk to her one-on-one. And so she was kind of like trying to decide what she wanted to do because it's like, man, the deeper I go, I can't fight both the power broker and the Falcon. So, oh, here we go. Yeah, I am a big fan, bro. That's what I'm supposed to be. What
I see what you see. I'm glad. Listen, I'm glad that I didn't say that because here's the thing. I think that some of the things that matter to you. And listen, I think listen. The one thing I can appreciate is that you are a fanatic for the things that you really love.
100%. So that's what
100%.
You watch the movies for what you watch the movies for, and I watch them for what I'm watching them for. But at the end of the day, typically our beliefs behind what we feel about it are typically the same. You had a 6 in Mortal Kombat. I had a 6 in Mortal Kombat for completely different things. But at the end of the day, I yes, when I'm following when you with MCU is different because we've been following this for 22 movies, and now we have 2 Disney Plus series that all wrapped around the same story. It's one long story, and these are all chapters in a book of the story. So I'm gonna be concerned about the plot stuff when that's what they say is important. That's what Marvel feeds us. So back to what I'm saying, I think that was a big issue. The other thing was I didn't like the fact that they hinted at what's her name being the power broker, Sharon Carter. I thought that was stupid. To me, in my opinion, she's more of a soldier than she is the mastermind. Like I could see her working for the power broker. But I'm gonna be honest.
I like, and we kind of talked about this before.
Yeah.
And I don't want to steal your thunder, but I still like the fact that I think that I like that it implied that she was the power broker, and that she never said that she's the power broker, right? So I still like. So to me, even that part, even those semantics of that part,
right?
That stuff doesn't matter to me because the whole point is I like her being the double agent.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with her being a double agent. And the thing is, I'm glad they didn't per se like nail it down that she is, because you can explore that, because we already got rumors now that they are starting production on Captain America 4. And no, I didn't read that, Chris. So wrong again. The thing is that the other things that I didn't like, how they just got buddy with John Walker real quick. Like Falcon said,
yeah.
Bro,
that was kind of
this dude just killed somebody with the shield, right? You just fought him to get it, broke his arm, everything, right? He exiled. And Sam was like, yo, I called somebody to help us out. I'm thinking they were about to introduce the new Falcon, because Taurus, the Puerto Rican dude that he gave the wings to, he's going to be the new Falcon. And so I'm thinking they're going to introduce the new Falcon, because obviously Sam is Captain America now. And so then John Walker shows up, and I get it. We knew he was eventually supposed to turn into U.S. agent, But I'm just thinking, like, how y'all cracking jokes?
I didn't know. Listen, I didn't know that he was going to turn into a U.S. agent. I don't even listen. So here's the thing. Let me stop right there because, like I said, I didn't read into comics enough to even know who U.S. agent is.
Yeah. So he's basically not exactly how they portrayed it in the thing, but basically he went overboard as Captain America, and then they needed him. Like, so the girl that's got him, her name is Val. She's like a very, very small side character in Marvel. She had like some little run with Hydra, and also she's almost like a Nick Fury, where they could either start the Thunderbolts or they could either have the Dark Avengers. So there's like different storylines that they could do. So it's one of those things, like there's so many different things. 'Cause even like in the comics, right? Bucky was Captain America at one time. Yeah. And then I love the speech that Sam gave to the politicians. I thought that was dope because he kept it real. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't like he said stuff like Cap would say it, but he said it like a black Cap would say it. And so I thought that they kept true to all of that. I thought it was dope. I love how when he went to go talk to Isaiah Bradley, and Isaiah Bradley was like, it kept it real, like, nah, no regular black dude would want to carry the shield. Like, I just thought stuff like that was super dope, how they used all of that.
I think that for me personally, what I did like is I love that they did address colorism, they did address racism, they did that, and I think that to me it was tastefully done. It wasn't so overboard, right? It wasn't so in your face where you might be offended by it, but it was just enough to drive home the point. So, like, I think that the perfect example of that is just the fact that they had a black super soldier, and he was like, "You mean to tell me there was a black super soldier out there that nobody knew anything about?" And then this black super soldier said, "Yeah, they treated Captain America like he was a hero. Well, for me, they put me in jail and had me running tests on me. And then they had to kill me in order for me to live, basically." So I thought that the treatment of two people with the same exact power just kind of shows the whole struggle that we face today about equality. And so I think the fact that he could have been treated like a Captain America, but wasn't because he was black, spoke to that real, it was there, right? But it wasn't over the top. I also think that when he gave that speech to the politicians, so one of the things that I liked that he slid in there was when he was talking about the girl Carly, and he was talking about, all of these titles that y'all want to call people that are divisive. When you call them, stop calling them, and he specifically said, stop calling them terrorists. He slid in thugs, right? That's always the thing that the media tends to assign to us when there's an event happen when you don't assign it to typically white people. So I think that those little things, those little slide-ins, that was the part that I loved the most about how they added race into it. It was there, but it wasn't so over the top in your face, though, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought everything they did with the colorism stuff, not even just from the black stuff, because what it is that they took the premise of what's happening in real life. When Cap gave him the shield in Endgame, people was like, I don't want to see no black Captain America. That they took that and made a whole story out of it, and then added in all the other stuff. So I thought that was dope. I thought I liked the fact that they also addressed the relationship between Bucky and Falcon. Like, you got to see his family, because with Falcon, we don't really know much about his story outside of the fact, like, when Cap meets him, in Civil War, when he's just out there helping other prior military folks, doing their PTSD debrief and that type of stuff. I thought it was dope. But then we get to see like his sister and his nephews and how they treat people. Like, dude was like, yo, can I get a selfie with you or whatever like that? And he's like, all right, well, can we get this loan? He's like, well, nah, we can't really give you that loan because we don't know where you had money from. Like, bro, you know me as the Falcon. Or my favorite scene, or not my favorite, but one of, is when like they're talking outside of Isaiah's house, and then the cop is like, yo, is he bothering you? He's like, are you kidding me? Like, we just sitting up here talking. Like, And even Bucky was like, no, he's not bothering me. And then it was like, oh, that's the Falcon. There's like, oh, what's up, man? That happens to celebrities all the time. Like that jump was real. Or even a little kid, it was like, well, hey, it's Black Falcon. He was like, no, it's just the Falcon. He was like, nah, my dad said you Black Falcon. He said, oh, so you must be Black Kid. It's just
I love it. I think that, like I said, done just very tastefully, bro. Tastefully done, though.
Overall, I loved it. I have my issues, but like I said, I'm nitpicking just because of Marvel.
Out of 10, what do you give it?
8.
I was gonna say more like 8.5, close to 9.
Yeah, I give it an 8 because, like I said, regardless of the production thing that happened or whatever, I'm nitpicking on the story that you fed me. There's things that didn't quite line up, but overall, I'm very pleased.
This is the reason why I had to give Mortal Kombat with the CK on that. I had to give Mortal Kombat a 6 because I'm very easily entertained. And I just didn't think that they did a good enough job to satisfy how easy it is to entertain me. That's the problem that I had mainly with that. I think that you might have me thinking about giving Mortal Kombat a 5, bro, because I at least was somewhat entertained by Wonder Woman, and I gave it a 6. So I don't know, bro.
My thing is, I'm gonna go back and watch Mortal Kombat again now that I already know what's gonna happen. I want to rewatch it, but definitely enjoyed Captain America and the Winter Soldier. I definitely like.
What did think about? Remind me again. On a scale of 1 to 10, what did you give Coming to America 2?
Coming to America 2?
Yeah,
like a 5 or a 4.
D.
Yeah, that will not get another rewatch.
Oh my gosh!
What's the other Jordan Peele movie? Not Us, but the other one. Get Out. There we go.
Get Out.
Yeah.
Listen, bro. I would have given Coming to America probably, to me personally, it was like a 5. I don't care. I don't care to watch it again, and I would much rather watch Coming to America 1 any day.
This boy,
this boy said Coming to America is a 7. Boy, you better go up to St. Joe's with that 7, boy.
With lines like that, then he ain't got no room to tell me about how I feel about Marvel.
Oh my god,
I love me some Chris
7.
Yeah, bro. Come on, bro.
If I'm giving Falcon and the Winter Soldier 8.5, then there's no way that Coming to America 2 is anywhere close to that.
Yeah, bro. So I know you've been seeing my posts and you ain't been commenting on them. You ain't been saying nothing. And I was gonna wait. I wasn't gonna say nothing until we got on the pod. How you gonna disrespect my boy Russ like that, bro? Mr. MVP, bro.
Okay, so listen. For starters, it's not that I'm disrespecting Russ. Like I told you before, I understand what Stephen A. Smith is what he's saying when we talked about that a while back. But let's talk about that though, man, because I do think that Russ's numbers mean something now that they didn't mean in March.
100% because they weren't winning. Okay. They weren't winning.
Yeah. So to me, what that looks like when you so this is the thing I'm impressed with, bro. So the thing that I'll never devalue, I'll never devalue scoring. And I'll never devalue triple doubles, right? So when I'm seeing somebody on an all-time scoring streak, I'll never devalue that. So like when James Harden averaged like 30-something, 35 points a game, like that was just historic, right? And I'll never devalue that regardless, right? But then it's just like where I start to devalue that was James Harden. James Harden was scoring like 35, 30-something a game, right? And they were like in playoff, they were top 6 seed or something like that. The flip side of that is that Bradley Beal last year averaged 31 a game, but their team wasn't even in the playoff. They were like the last seed. And I understand that he was surrounded by trash, but then you look like Kevin Love putting up all-star stats on a sorry team. And so when you rush to Stephen A. Smith and you see that, we know you can do a triple double. We've seen you do that twice, average a triple double. But when you doing it and you in 12th place, it doesn't have the same value.
But this is my problem I had with Stephen A. Right? Because let's look at that they were in the same place they were in when he was making these comments, and Russ's numbers was trash, right? Then what was he gonna say, right? And then where's the accountability for the rest of his team? Because if he's getting a triple double, that means that somebody's making these other points that he's assisting to. What is the accountability for the team? What's the accountability of Bradley Beal? Because this is what I'm talking about by MVP, right? They're on this. They had like an 8-game winning streak. I know they just recently lost, but they had an 8-game win streak. You've seen during them playing, Bradley Beal just physically give up on the team, and Russ is still out there putting everybody on his back. They finally start winning. They go on this 8-game win streak. They have the opportunity to possibly make the playoffs. You just said Bradley Beal couldn't get it done by itself, and now they're in a position to almost make the playoffs. You have to look at that and be like, yo, that's the impact of Russell Westbrook.
I can see that. But then here's my thing. Okay, so let's talk about it then. MVP race, then based off of that metrics,
yeah.
Who do you got as your 5? Your 5 people who would say, you might say no, you can either give it in order or no particular order. Who are your 5 people? Order. No particular order.
Outside my number 1. My number 1 is Russell Westbrook. But I got Steph. I got let me see, Steph. I got Giannis, even though Giannis, he can't get it this year. It's just he can't get it this year. So Steph, Giannis, Russ, Embiid, but Embiid's kind of been hurt. What the boy Mitchell been doing?
They in first place. He averaging like 24 games.
I go ahead and say him. So I'm taking Embiid off. So Mitchell, Gobert. Ain't Gobert doing something?
He's just doing regular Gobert stuff.
Okay,
okay.
So like Russ,
he ain't that spicy, bro. He like Cool Ranch Doritos.
All right, Russ, Steph, Mitchell, Joker, and maybe Paul George.
There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. That's day 1. Every time we get to talking about basketball, he want to slide in Paul George. That's his 1. There he go.
Let me ask you a question though, before you get on your rant and before you tell me your stuff. Because I know Atlanta kind of did a streak thing where they started winning, right? Was that something that Trae Young? Because I haven't been able to watch a lot of basketball, but is Trae Young doing big things right now?
Ace Kennedy, I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you, bro. It's accountability.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when the Hawks was looking like trash on Thursday, same exact team. The difference is they let go of the coach. They got Nate McMillan as the coach, who demands that they play defense. Demanded, right? And that's the difference. That's all it is. And so even Trae Young attempts to play defense. Ace Kennedy, I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you, bro. I think you could have gave Trae Young 5. 5. He doesn't attempt to. And I get that, offensively, he was averaging like 29 points a game. And I think that he was even averaging somewhere like close to 10 assists a game or something crazy like that. And I get that he takes so much of the offense overload that he takes off on defense. Well, Nate McMillan was like, nah, we're not doing that. So his points dropped a little bit since he's been under there, but their defensive efficiency improved. That's what it is. But Trae Young ain't nowhere on MVP conversation. He didn't make the All-Star.
I mean, like I said, I haven't, but okay, then we'll take off Paul George for you, and then we'll put Ja Morant on there.
Okay. So let me,
okay. There go my 5.
I'm going to tell you who I would have.
Okay.
In no particular order.
Besides Russ.
No particular order. Joker.
Okay.
Russ. Steph. Zach Randall.
Oh, you doggone right.
And Giannis.
Okay.
Only reason why I would put Giannis on there is technicality, right? He's not doing anything that we haven't seen him do. His numbers are actually a little bit better than what he's doing now. But the reason why I wouldn't just give it to him is because, one, I think his team is better, even though their record isn't better. I think that Drew Holiday was very much an upgrade over Eric Bledsoe and Wesley Matthews. So they are better. So I think that he is better. But I think that Julius Randle, I said Zach Randle, Julius Randle.
I know who you meant.
Julius Randle. I think that if the Knicks make the playoffs, you got to at least put him up there because his numbers are significantly better and his team is playing significantly better. And I think that he is very much the catalyst of that. Yeah, and never mind that they have the additional coach and everything like that new coach with the boy Tibbs. But aside from that, I like I said, I can't discount Steph's scoring and his. I've been watching every single Warriors game for April, and I've been seeing Steph light it up. Now, mind you, just a month before, he was just playing okay. He was averaging about 26, but I think that once Steph really started to look at the landscape and says, nah, I got to start putting up these points in order for us to keep us in the game. He's doing it, though, man. So I give Steph there. And then I think that Nikola Jokic, I give him his only because he's been the more consistent. While I think that Russ has been doing the triple doubles, he did do the triple doubles at a point where they weren't winning. Whereas Jokic's been doing his thing all season long consistently. So I just think that just from a matter of consistently playing that way while winning, he's gonna get it by default, bro.
Yeah. No, I like I said, Giannis can't get it because they want to see him produce in the playoffs. So
and this is the thing. To me, I think that to me, Doc, I just got a problem when you're missing so many games, and then the other people who are candidates for MVP aren't missing games. Like to me, like once LeBron started to miss too many games, I was like, okay, that's it. He's out of there. And then I think that then once AD, that's why I don't think that AD will do it because he missed too many games. And you say Paul George, and Paul George might put up numbers, but I'll never give him MVP as a number 2 player. Like I just can't.
But that's the thing.
He's number 2.
Number 2 though.
He's a number 2 player.
Okay.
So yeah, I can't like this is the thing about it. Regardless of how good Scottie Pippen ever would play with the Bulls, as long as he was lining up with Jordan, he would never get considered for MVP because of Jordan. And granted, that also meant that even though he's taken on the better defensive player on every single team that they're guarding, and then still having to average his 20-so points a game and leading them in assists and leading them in rebounds in the playoffs, you're playing with Jordan. You're the number 2 guy, and you can't get MVP that way.
So Mark knows everybody says that his 5 is CP3, Joker, Russ, Steph, and Embiid. I ain't even think about CP3, and that's
I would include CP3, but I would not include Joel Embiid. I'm biased. Boys, don't get me started on Joel.
And he said because of the injury, you can sub Randall for Embiid, so that's his 5.
Yeah, Joel Embiid is good, and I can't lie. This is the best that I've seen him. Like I said, I'm just waiting for him to do it in the playoffs because I've seen him do some all-time great stuff. And then I've seen them turn around and look like an all-time scrub, bro. So just let me see you do it in the playoffs.
Yeah, and you have to admit that CP3 has elevated Phoenix.
Absolutely. I mean, they went. Devin Booker had one of the worst winning percentages of all time just last year. Like I think that he wasn't even above 10% winning wise. Chris Paul comes there. These boys like number 3 seed. Automatic. Chris Paul makes every team better.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's like I told you, him and Russ, my 2 favorite players in the league, bro.
I like CP, man. I like that CP still just is crafty enough to know how to get it done. And given his height, he can get it done over anybody. Size don't matter. So I like that though, bro.
I think it's dope because I actually met him when his wife was pregnant with Lil Chris. I thought that was what I thought was dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lil Chris said, give him the Blake look.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So what's up with these relationships, bro? What are we talking about?
So this is the funny thing though, man. I think that it is so oddly enough, right? According to BBC, divorce rates were increasing all around the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
During the pandemic, right? And then I think the interesting part is that the divorce rate in the United States, though, hit a 50-year low in terms of the rate that people were saying now. Now, mind you, that's kind of surprising because we've been seeing just people in relationships just say, no, we good. You know what I'm saying? We breaking it on up. That's it. We saw A-Rod and J-Lo call it quits. We saw Quavo, Sweetie, call it quits. We've seen a lot of people break. Kanye, Kim calls it divorce. But I think that while we've been saying, I'm surprised that divorce is at a low. And do you think, my question for you is that, you know, for the same reason why we thought you would naturally think, oh, okay, well, you know what? This being around people are exposing you and forcing you to face these realities of your relationships, issues that weren't addressed. Now this person is in front of you all the time. I would think that would drive you insane, but apparently it's also the opposite. It's you know, it sounds like it's forcing you to, in a positive way, identify those things and stay together, though, bro. And that's surprising to me, though. Am I tripping?
Maybe people found new ways to cope with stuff. Maybe you were able to work through some stuff. Like you ain't have no, because I've seen people that were on the verge of divorce prior to the pandemic, and then they were quarantined together and they worked it out. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it has positive and negative effects on people's relationships because people eventually figured it out. I mean, you figured we was in this stuff and we're still going through it, but I'm saying it's been a year. So at some point you had to figure out a way to like, okay, listen, this is the way I can still have my personal space. Here's how you had your personal space. Even with me and the missus, right? We ended up having date nights with another couple. Like it was just one couple that we felt safe enough to drive to their house to have date nights with them. And that was beneficial for us. Like it was something we started to look forward to, you know what I'm saying? And so now that we're coming out of the pandemic a little bit, like just people are able to move around a little bit more, you know, we haven't done that in quite some time. And not so much that we don't want to, it's just, you know, everybody's moving around again. Like you're not confined anymore. So I think that it just depends on how people chose to handle their relationships.
Yeah, let me ask you this though, man. I think that here's one of the things that I am kind of curious because I think that this is exactly where I was going when it comes to financially, right? Because you think about that. A lot of people were losing their jobs, people were downsizing and everything like that. So here it is, you know, maybe like what I'm thinking is that while it's at an all-time low now, I would think once everything opens up, let's say a year from now, I would think that divorces are about to be at an all-time high because I think that then people are saying, all right, I've been working it out because financially I couldn't slide. But now my job is back in full swing. I'm done with homeboy. I'm done with homegirl. Now I'm a slide. Like I think that to me seems to make sense because here's what this is the one thing I am curious about, bro. Mm-hmm. I'd love to get your thoughts on this.
All right.
Okay, so in terms of, you know, let's say that in COVID, right? COVID times, I think that, you know, it's like when you're in that scenario and you're forcing you face those things. Like if divorces are at an all-time low, do you think that the flip side of that marriages also are all time? Like people are still getting married out here during COVID, but like, do you pros and cons? Like, where do you see that going, bro?
I see that too, because again, you had an opportunity to work on your relationship. Like some people, the online dating scene kind of changed again because now you were kind of doing virtual dates. And so then it was like, all right, you would think that the next level to meeting you is actually physically meeting you. like, okay, you get your COVID test, I get my COVID test 2 days before we supposed to meet, and then let's meet up and have a real date, or I'm a cook for you. Like, so I can see the fact that some relationships actually did develop within the pandemic because you had a different opportunity, and this was all new territory to everybody. You know what I'm saying? So it was like virtual dating 2.0, so to speak, because now it's just like, all right, first I got to get to know you just through the profile and everything, and Zoom calls or whatever, and now we physically meeting and see how compatible. And then people who might have been dating or engaged, just like, listen, the pandemic is showing me that life is too precious, it's too short. What are we waiting for? Let's get married now. So there's a whole bunch of different scenarios as to how or why the marriage rate went up.
I think it's interesting though, man. Like that's one of those things, bro, that I don't know. I just don't know that I would be able to cope with the dating scene. Like, as a single guy, like, think about this. Is the thing that I think is just crazy to me, bro. As single guy, if you're in your, let's say, 40s, let's just say even 30s, during COVID, like what I don't know, right, is that I don't know if I'm newly single or if I've been freshly single for a year or two or whatever, that I'm picking COVID to want to get to know somebody on that level.
That's the thing though, because you are married, I think that you would feel differently about that. If you was in a pandemic and you wasn't getting them cakes, I think a whole different, your mindset would change a little bit. There's certain things that change when that's not happening on a regular basis. So,
that's true.
Just because we living in a pandemic, that don't mean you stop wanting them cakes. So the thing is you would probably take a little bit more risk than you probably would.
Well, that is a good point. So then here's the other thing too, because then you might be a little bit more open to, you won't be in a position to turn down them.
Right.
So them people, them sixes start to look like sevens that you might be able to work. You might be able to make that work out though, bro. So I don't know though, man. I think that I guess my big thing is that I think that's the part that I'm just not so sure that for me, like, let alone being in a pandemic, right? Yeah. I still don't necessarily know that I would ever even see myself like to me, I think we look at marriage the same but different, right? So you're married now, but if hypothetically, not gonna jinx you, right? This is my sister we talk about, so watch your mouth. But if something happened, could you see yourself saying, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and do this again?
100%. Because I believe in marriage like that, to where I don't necessarily think that there's anything wrong with marriage. Just the two people that are in it just don't work. So that wouldn't deter me at all. But see, listen, in a pandemic though, even outside of pandemic, you have already said that if you ever became single, you would just be going in your whole phase.
It's one and done. It's one and done. This gotta work or it's nothing. Like, I know you can have some little friends, you know what I'm saying? But that boy said, like, deployment, a 5 is a 7 or an 8.
I already know.
Listen, bro. Because I remember my brother was telling me that he was off in Afghanistan. And he was like, bro, listen, he said it was some girls out there who they know when they get back home, they're going to go back to being 5s. But out here during deployment, they like Beyonce out here, though, bro.
Yeah, man.
And I said, oh, my gosh, though, man. I don't know, man. I think the part for me, right, is that, like, I look at things differently, though, right? Like, I look at that, like, I spent my 20s and my 30s with one person. I don't know I don't know that personally I want that I'm willing to give somebody else that. I don't want to give somebody all my 40s if it happened to that. You ain't gonna catch all my 40s and my 50s.
We, like you said, we look at stuff differently.
Yeah, but then here's the thing. And that's the thing about it. I do respect giving the one person that, But I just personally don't know that I'm willing to give multiple people cracks at them decades, though, bro. Like, nah. Like,
But what you gonna do? Just be out here? You gonna be out here?
oh yeah, George Clooney. He didn't get married until he was like 50, and then even then, I think he's about to get divorced. And I bet he's kind of wishing that he didn't get married, bro.
I mean, I get that. It ain't for everybody, bro.
It's not that. It's not that. Like, here's my thing. I suppose that I would entertain it, but I would have to feel like that getting married wouldn't compromise my happiness for one bit. Like for me,
I think that the older you get, though, the more that you have the ammunition to have conversations that you didn't necessarily have in the beginning. So I think that your selection process will be a little bit different. And then your standards and your like, you're going to want somebody who's kind of established, meaning that financially, you're not going to want somebody that you're going to have to necessarily. Like,
I'm not trying to build somebody up, man. Like, I don't listen, man.
That's what I'm saying.
I feel terrible saying that. I wouldn't want to have to build somebody up.
It's nothing wrong with that, because you're at an age where things are different. Because if you're saying that, okay, if I'm this age and I'm trying to date somebody around my age, I would expect by now that you have figured it out on what you're trying to do as well, so that you guys can just build and go. But there are some women who sacrificed their relationship stuff to build up their careers. And so they are in a position and ready to be in relationships because their career is straight. So the thing is you don't have to dummy down your criteria for doing it. But I'm just saying, there are certain things you're going to want, because it's like, all right, I get, if I have to do this again, or if I'm going to make this decision again, these things have to be in place.
It takes more than love to build it up. I'm not building up. I'm not. I don't got time. And I feel terrible in saying that, though, bro. But I guess to me, I just look at that in terms of, like, I know I would know where I come from. So nah, man. Like, I'm not trying to go through all of that, though, man. Like, and that's the part. That is the part where I don't that I feel like, to some degree, I would be loved. Let me think about this, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you were in a relationship in your 20s, right? Would you think back, looking back at it now, right? Looking back at it now, right? On the 20s, right? Because the 20s, I told you 20s is where I look at that's the red flag season for females. Red flags in your 20s. Where you at in your late 20s, to me, is a big indicator for females, right? But my question for you is this, though, man. In terms of being in your 20s, right? Do you, if you were advising someone blindly, you say, listen, dating in your 20s, or just, serious relationship in your 20s, or just be single in your 20s?
I think it's both. I think you have to figure yourself out, because I think that here's the thing. I don't think anybody, you have to go through something to know what you want and don't want. So my thing is that, yes, have short flings in your 20s, but also have a long relationship, because you think about it, right? Even if you're in your 20s, right? You have a relationship for 3 years. That's a long-term relationship. In that time, you could move in together. Like, there's a whole bunch of things that could happen at that time. I'm not recommending people move in together, but I'm saying
I do.
I know you do. But I'm just saying, at your 20s, have short flings, have long relationships to know what you want. So yeah, I don't have nothing wrong with it. I think you find the person when you find the person.
Personally, I think that you should have lived with somebody before you get married. It could be your husband, and you live with him before you get married if you're a female, but I think you should have lived with somebody so that you can at least have some idea of what it takes to hold down a household. And not to say you're going to be the homemaker like they say back in the day, but to know what it takes to actually have that dry run. And then it could be that maybe you luck up and this person winds up being your husband. But I think that, to me, one of the worst things that you'll do is move. This is gonna sound crazy, but to move right in with somebody, and then you find out, God damn, I didn't know you was like this. You could have did that trial run, and especially in your 20s, because listen, it means something to me that if you tell me that in your 30s that you've never had a long-term relationship, right? And then it means something to me even more that if you tell me that your 20s, right? Especially late 20s, somebody didn't try to scoop you up. Somebody trying to take you off the market. Because you should be at your physical peak. Now, some people bloom late, and we've talked about this as well. But I think that at the same time, though, man, you should have been attractive, fine enough that somebody said, "Nah, I got to take this off the market. Let me propose to him."
Yeah. So the boy Mark knows everybody says, I think I'm a one and done. And if I can be again, I might, if I could be single again, I might entertain it. But anytime my ex would offer them cakes, I'm going in, and whoever I'm dealing with gonna have to be okay, like Michael Blackson's girl.
Hey, man. Listen, like I said, I think that it's different. I do know people who are married who would say, very much like you, if something happened, I would do it again. Right. I think that some people, like, to me, I love the concept of marriage. I love the concept of love and happiness, probably more. But when you can love and be happy while being married, totally get it.
Yeah.
Right. But at the same time, though, for me, though, yeah, I think that it's probably one and done. If you didn't catch me the first round, probably not gonna have a chance to catch me again.
Yeah.
Man. As somebody who I'm gonna get you out here on this one.
Yeah.
As somebody who is married, right, with kids, what would you tell? What when you tell somebody like, yo, what should I be considering when it comes to settling down? Right, I'm willing to. I think I'm ready to go ahead and say I want to not necessarily get married, but I'm at that point where I want to date somebody to marry them.
Yeah.
What should their mentality be?
I would talk to them about 5 things. I would talk to them, one, about making sure that they talk to their new significant other about goals. Like, what are their goals for the next 5 years? I would tell them to have a conversation about sex, knowing frequencies and what their stance is on that. I want to know about kids, like what their stance on about kids. They need to talk about finances, and they need to talk about the influence of family when it comes to their relationships.
Well, okay, let me ask you this though. Family, that can be a big deal to some people,
It can
small
be.
deal to others. Why do you think family is such a big deal?
Because the thing is that you have to be able to stand up to your family when it comes to your significant other on both ends. So the thing is that, that can be a fight. Like, you always see those posts all the time. If you're going somewhere, who sits in the front seat, the mom or your wife? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, those are interesting. Those is funny when you're reading it, but those things are a big deal sometimes when it comes to, like, okay, well, your mama just did this, so what you gonna do about it? Oh, well, that's my mom. Like, those conversations have to happen, like, to know. So I'm just saying, those conversations need to happen.
I've never had to have a scenario where any of those crossed the line for me personally, right? But I do know people where that has been an issue, right?
Oh, yeah, because you can lose out on some Christmases, some family reunions, or a whole bunch of stuff if that stuff ain't tight, and you got to make that decision.
I think that, listen, man, I think that my in-laws are dope. I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you, man. I absolutely love my in-laws. I especially love my mother-in-law. Me and her just kind of have this connection. Like, we seem like in a past life we were like brothers, basically, though, brothers and sisters in a past life. And I think that the part that's interesting to me, though, man, is that but because of that, maybe my view is just a little different on family. It's for the most part, I think that it's been always been a positive relationship and everything. And I think that the part that's just interesting to me about it is that I think I feel also the older I get, the more I'm willing to double down on my position on that. Listen, we can either be cool with your family and I can be cool with them, but I'm just as cool with not being cool with them as well. So I'm not gonna.
But that's what I'm saying though. I'm glad that you haven't had any experiences when it comes to family, but I've had conversations with other people where that's a big deal because it's like, where people have to really literally kind of stop talking to certain people in their family because of situations that have happened. So and so you need to know where that person stands is, because if you in a relationship with a woman and her dad is whatever he say is the rule, or her mom or whatever the case may be, like, nah, we're married now. Like, even in the Bible, it talks about you leave your father and mother and cleave together. So it's, can you really do that? Those are conversations. That's what I'm saying. Like when you're engaged or when you're dating and stuff like that, you like to think like, oh, love's gonna conquer all. Let me tell you something. Love does not conquer all unless you got some foundation behind it. And so you ain't thinking about that stuff when you first dating or engaged or thinking about being married. So that's
I'm all, and this is the thing about it. I'm all for if somebody has family traditions and everything like that. I'm all for looping in those family traditions and everything like that. But I think that for me, the minute that it kind of crosses that line to where I'm thinking like, all right, you know what, man, not that it has to be disrespectful or whatever, but I'm just as good with detaching myself from that scenario to where, like, listen, man, we can either be good or we can not be good, but either way, I'm cool. So it's like, yeah, and it's not to say that I'm just, what I'm saying, like I'm just cold-hearted like that. I'd rather we be cool, but I'll live and be perfectly fine and sleep like a baby and be snoring and calling all the hogs in if we ain't either though, man. So
I get that.
Yeah.
Man, good pod, but I do want to give some breaking news real quick, and we can talk about it Friday, of course. But breaking news that Floyd Mayweather and Logan Paul have agreed to a fight date of June the 6th. Will take place in Miami. So like I said, we will dive off into that on Friday to give our opening thoughts about what we think about this and go from there.
What if that boy knock out Floyd, man?
We'll talk about it Friday.
Oh my gosh, Ace Kennedy, get that music going, though, man. You already got the wheels is turning on up here, man.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
The greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast. The greatest podcast of all time.